What's happening, sports fans? How you doing? I am Kendrick, the sports guy. Good Friday to you, and it is a good Friday for Cowboys fans, as well as the Dallas Cowboys. They got the victory over their NFC East rival, the Giants, on Thursday night. We're going to talk about the aftermath reaction to this game here in this segment. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that follow button. Both the Cowboys and the Giants came into this Thursday night matchup at 1-2, looking to avoid going down 1-3. 2-2 is definitely a whole lot better than 1-3, and the Cowboys pulled out the victory 20-15 in a field goal kicking contest pretty much. The Cowboys would show a little bit better defense in this game as far as against the run because they had got thrashed the last two games at home against with the Saints coming in, I think putting up 197 yards rushing, and then the Ravens last week would put up 275. And so the Cowboys' rush defense came in as last in the league versus the run, but they would change that. They only allowed 26 yards rushing to the Giants on the ground. Now they're in the bottom half when it comes to average rush per game. They're only giving up 145.8 yards per game. But again, the Cowboys did get the victory 20-15. Let's talk about the offensive side before we talk a little bit more about the defense. Prescott was efficient, wasn't nothing flashy, 22 of 27, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns. One of those touchdowns went to CeeDee Lamb for 55 yards, who, by the way, had a pretty good game, 7 receptions, 98 yards, and that 1 touchdown. As far as the run game, they kind of got a little something going. They rushed for 80 yards as a team. Running back Rico Dowdell, he led the team with 11 rushes for 46 yards. So again, the offense, they didn't light it up, but they did just enough to win the game off the foot of Aubrey, who right now would be probably the Cowboys' MVP, if you want to call him that, because of the way he's been kicking field goals. But they got to clean up one thing: penalties. They had 11 last night for 89 yards. Ever since Mike McCarthy has been head coach of this team has led the league or been in the top 5 when it comes to penalties. They got to clean that up because this team, I don't think, is talented enough to overcome penalties. They're just not consistent enough, especially on the offense and the defensive side of the ball. Now let's talk about the defense again. They showed up. They played the run pretty. They did a whole lot better. Mike Zimmer looked like made some adjustments, but it was against the Giants. It's not like they had a game-breaking running back that they really had to hone in on. But again, they only gave up 26 yards rushing. You got to start somewhere. Linebacker Eric Kendricks led the defense with 13 tackles. DeMarvion Overshown, he was also right behind him with 8 tackles. So again, the Cowboys, they looked a little bit better defensively. They had a couple of injuries on that side. Let's talk about that. Linebacker Michael Parsons, he would leave in the fourth quarter. Matter of fact, he would have to be taken off on a cart. It looked like it was some sort of leg injury, but it was eventually we will find out it was an ankle injury. He had an MRI at the stadium in New York. That MRI came back negative. He will have one in Dallas on Friday, and in a report I read, Parsons said that he will be ready for when they get ready to play, which is in 10 days, and they got a tough one coming up. We're going to talk about those games that they got coming up in just a second. Also on the defensive side of the ball, DeMarcus Lawrence, he did not play in the second half. He would not return with something with his foot. Then reports would say that it's nothing serious. Lawrence said that he should be ready to go. Now, on the Giants side, they had an injury that really hurt them. Malik Neighbors, their outstanding rookie wide receiver, he ended up with a concussion in the fourth quarter and would not return after catching 12 balls for over 100 yards versus the Cowboys secondary. So again, he'll be in concussion protocol. Don't know how long that would take or how many games he would miss. Now, as far as the Cowboys versus the Giants, they own this team. They now improved to 14-1 versus the Giants, and they are 7-0 versus the G-Men over the past 3 years. So again, anytime the Cowboys need a win, they should play the Giants. That's my thoughts on that. Now, this team got a really tough October and an early November coming. Here are the next 6 games for the Cowboys. They're at the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday night, October 6th. Then they host the Lions at home. Then they are at the 49ers, the end of October. Then they are at the Atlanta Falcons. Then they host the Eagles. And then they host the Texans. Those 6 games are really tough. All those teams are playoff caliber teams. And, this could go off the rails if the Cowboys don't play better. I really think they got to be more consistent, especially on offense. Instead of settling for field goals, they got to get touchdowns in the red zone. And on defense, they definitely got to get better against the run, and they got to create a pass rush. Outside of DeMarcus Lawrence and Michael Parsons, they have no one else that can rush the passer. So the Cowboys definitely, this is going to be a pretty tough schedule the rest of the way. Again, they're 2-2 right now, but I could easily see them maybe winning only 2 of those games. I mean, they could end up being, 4 and 6 before it's all said and done. Yeah, maybe. So they got a tough schedule ahead of them, and then they got some players banged up too. But with this 10 days rest, they don't play until October 6th, and this is a Sunday night game at Pittsburgh. They can get some people healthy. So again, Cowboys get the victory on Thursday night. They beat the Giants 2015. That helps them in the division, and again, they avoid dropping to 1-3. They are 2-2. The Giants are now 1-3. And they got to regroup as well. So, I'd like to know what you guys think about the Cowboys, especially about these next 6 games they got coming up. You think they got a shot of winning 3 or 4 of those games? Talk to me in the comments. Let me know what you think. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click that follow button. I am Kendrick the Sports Guy. We will see you on the other side. And on the next report, I am out.